Sorry, I had to stop and pause while I was driving because this came to me and I was thinking, oh my gosh, after all these years, I finally feel a certain thing that I've been dying to feel my whole entire life. Okay, so here's where it came up for me. I have been having a lot of nightmares lately, like tons and tons and tons of nightmares. And since I've been married, I think from what I can remember, my nightmares have just been getting worse and worse and worse, but then I didn't have them for a long time. So last night I had a dream that no matter how hard I tried to love on my husband or keep my husband around, like he just didn't want me anymore. And it's crazy because what I've learned is your dreams are a way of your brain processing fears and insecurities or just things in general. And it's when you're in your deepest of sleep that you have your dreams. It's called REM sleep. Anyways, so I had this dream and I would wake up for all these years. I would wake up after a dream like this and I wouldn't talk to my husband. I'd be really, really mean to him. And he'd be like, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything to you. Why are you acting like this? Why are you treating me like this? And honestly, I really couldn't figure it out. Those dreams felt so real. I, in my brain, thought it had happened. So I'd have dreams of him cheating. I'd have dreams of him leaving me. All these different things because they are fears and things that have happened to me my whole entire time of dating. So I had two certain relationships that come to my mind over and over and over again. All the others was like, okay, whatever. But these two relationships were, I guess, I don't know why they're so prominent in my life, of why they're so upsetting. Possibly because I had more emotion put into it. I was more devoted to those people. But anyways, one of them really made a decision in my life that when he decided to leave, it was like completely heartbreaking. One day I might be able to tell this story. But right now I can't. And so when he decided to leave, I really thought that I kept thinking in my mind, you know what? Obviously, I don't have worth. Obviously, I'm not pretty enough. Maybe I'm too fat. I've got problems. I would sit there and dig out myself of why this guy left instead of thinking in my brain it had to do with him. He's the one that had the issues. Sometimes, and we always have something that we are maybe lacking in a relationship, or why the relationships don't work out. But sometimes a majority of the reason why a person cheated on us or something like that is because of their own free will and choice, right? So I had that dream last night, and it's been a while since, after I've done my healing, I'm able to tell myself in the morning, oh, I'm okay. I'm fine. Nothing, this didn't really happen. Well, this morning, after a long while, I was like, oh my gosh, why am I feeling this way? Anyways, I do know now that I can tell myself and be like, Lisa, it's okay. Like, it's not happening and you're okay. And even if it did happen, what would you do to be able to move forward or to feel better? And most of all, you weren't the one that, it's not because you don't have worth. It's not because you're a piece of crap or you're ugly or you're overweight or you're whatever it is. I'm not coming on here to brag and be like, I've figured it out, but you haven't. Like, I want to give you courage because, man, if somebody had given me courage like this before I figured it out, before I knew that I already had worth, that it wasn't me, the reason why they cheated, it wasn't me for the reason why they had problems and they left me all those different times. I mean, I was left all the time as a teenager. And even I guess as an adult, I've been married, but in my brain, like, I had relationships where those two relationships, I was cheated on, and they hurt me really, really, really bad. And I have held on to that pain and that suffering all these years. And every time I thought about, oh, my brain wanted to go to, well, maybe you're a good person. Maybe you have something about you that people would want. Like, now I know, oh my freaking heck, like, you don't want me? That's totally fine. Like, I am amazing. I'm gorgeous. I'm beautiful. I may not be your type, and that's okay. You know, go out and find your type. If you feel like you have to cheat, like, that's not on me. That's on you. And so finally being in a place where so many of us cry our eyes out and struggle, men and women, begging for those thoughts and those feelings and the reassurance and the stability, like, it can come. It's possible. It's there. You don't have to find it through a person. You don't have to find it through a thing. It's in you. And it's just a matter of dusting off the dust to find it. So a few of the things that I have done, maybe not necessarily mean that that's what you have to do to find it, but it's been the quicker way for me to find it. One is my EMDR, my trauma therapy. Doesn't mean that you have to have tons of trauma in your life or gigantic, huge, awful things, sexual abuse or, you know, being beaten or whatever like that in order to be able to benefit from EMDR. No, it can be as minimum as anxiety or depression or going through something that really scared you, or maybe like the fear of people throwing up all the time. I know that sounds weird, but honestly, like it's something as simple as that, as being super anxious every time someone throws up, because that's what I have. So that's one of the things that I have done that has helped me. Another thing that I have done is listening to mindset videos, podcasts, reading books, whatever it is. You have a library that gives it for free. You have YouTube that gives it for free. You can Google it, and listening to mindset stories or podcasts or books over and over and over again, telling you this is step one, this is how you do it. One of my favorite books, I haven't finished it because I'm horrible at reading, so I'm more of an audio person, is The Secret. And what's another? Rachel Hollis's books and stuff like that. There's tons of them out there that can give you that strength and courage. But honestly, you guys, I'm a huge advocate of counseling, a huge advocate, because I wouldn't be where I want to be or where I need to be in life without that counseling. And so that's why I come on here and I talk about it all the time, because it really has changed my life. It has transformed me into a completely different person. So if one day, you know, maybe my relationship didn't go well, like, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it will, but I've got to know that, like, one day I'm going to be okay. I'm gorgeous. I'm amazing. And as long as I do my very best, I don't have anything to worry about. Like, whatever your spouse is, your girlfriend, boyfriends, whatever it is, whatever they decide to do is because they made that choice. It had nothing to do with you. It doesn't mean that you're worthless, because you came here with worth. You came here with worth. And I'll tell you that over and over and over again, only because I figured it out this last year. I've only had it in my brain knowing this for 1 year out of the 33 years that I've been alive. That's pretty sad, right? That's a lot of years that I lived without knowing how amazing I am. And I don't have to sit here and worry about, oh, I gotta go to the store because my husband's family is coming down and I need to wear like super nice clothes because and fine jewelry and buy a week's worth of clothes every time they come down, because they're gonna make a comment that's really rude saying I'm either too fat or too thin. Like, if it were that they were still in our lives, like, I'd honestly be, I just know that I am. I just know that I'm amazing no matter what. How about like obsessively cleaning your house because you know that somebody's coming over that makes you feel insecure because they're super tidy, they're super clean. Well, I used to have a person, actually quite a few people, that I felt like that around. And I'm finally to the point where I'm like, you know what? I didn't get to cleaning my house last night. And that's okay. Doesn't mean that I'm a slob or a dirty person or I don't have worth because I don't have a clean house. No, it doesn't mean that at all. When you finally find who you are, because you've always been who you are, you've been given that. But when you can polish that baby, your life is going to be unlimitless, unlimitless of dreams and admirations and priorities, because I don't like the word goals. Goals means that it doesn't always happen. Priorities means that it does. But when you figure that out, oh my gosh, I could give you tons and tons of kisses because it is the best feeling in the world. It's not anything money can buy. It's not anything that a person can give. It's not anything that you will necessarily find written, chiseled in stone. It's already in here. So I pray that you will find that, because when you do, you will shout it out from the rooftops.